Hello and welcome to another episode of Prophetcast. Today is June 8th, 2014. I'm Steve Hayes. With me today is the beautiful David Curry.
Hola.
And we are the Thought Prophets. The Thought Prophets is an atheist/secular group dedicated to the promotion of open discussion, continuous learning, skepticism, and science. You can check out our website at www.thoughtprophets.com. Check out our blog at blog.thoughtprophets.com. You can follow us on Twitter by searching for Prophetcast and Thought Prophets. And lastly, you can join our Facebook group. I'm going to stop pimping the Google Plus group because there's no one on it.
There's really nobody there. We tried to make, just like Google, we tried to make Google Plus popular, but it failed.
Just didn't work. You guys would rather hang out with us on Facebook, and that's cool. I don't mind. So check out our Facebook group by simply searching for Thought Prophets. We have no special guest today. We're going to be kicking it old school. It's just going to be me and David, and we're trying to get this shit all figured out. We're getting a lot more viewers, getting a lot more feedback actually throughout the show, and trying to tighten up some loose ends. Clamp some nipples, you know what I mean? Get this shit tight. No, that's not good.
Well, I mean, trying to get things tight, but not like nipple clamp type.
Not like you're not like clamping down on things, and I don't know. Okay, all right, fair, fine. I thought that was a fair analogy. Whatever.
Well, a fair analogy? I'm not too sure that it's a fair analogy, but
it was a sexy analogy. You're right. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Yeah. So, David, what's been up, man? What's going on with you?
Not a whole lot. Not really a whole lot. Trying to navigate my time between working full-time and going back to school full-time, and somehow my work is dominating my hours in that perspective, but
that's how it works.
It's really annoying. It really is, especially when I have class to do, and I tell my work I have class to do, but they're like, screw you.
Yeah, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, we're gonna keep you for overtime anyway. So,
yeah.
But meh. Once I get finished with school, I'll be able to dump their ass and go on to a better job. So.
Damn Skippy. A lot of it is just knowing somebody in the industry to help get you in. I mean, obviously knowing some information about it is definitely important.
Obviously, yeah.
Right.
I wonder. There is this guy that I know who happens to do a lot of code.
Yeah?
I asked him about a job, but he never got back to me.
Well, that's probably because he actually doesn't do a lot with code. He's actually more or less the face of the team, so he's kind of the looks guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So when they go to blame someone, they're like, it couldn't have been that team because I mean, yeah, look at that man and just how beautiful he is. His code must be just as elegant as his. No, it's not like that at all. Actually, I'm usually blamed. For most things, which, okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's fair to blame. I really don't mind. But so nothing new and exciting, huh? No progressions or blow ups or anything like that from anyone. Didn't you have something? I thought you said you had a blow up about something. I thought somebody pissed you off about something and you ranted about it. And maybe not. Maybe I was thinking of something else.
I don't know. I seem to rant a lot.
Yeah.
There's
there's some Facebook posts about being a part of some family that was just like a friend you guys knew. I don't care. Whatever. Fine. You got nothing interesting and exciting to.
No, I'm not interested whatsoever.
No, I really don't know why I keep you around, to be honest. This is very eye-opening, so I really appreciate this, David. Thanks.
How about you, Steve? Any recent news or anything?
God, you guys really want to hear about me? I've got a shit ton of things. There's a ton of things that have been going down with me. One thing to report is that my brother has finally stood up and hasn't kind of cowered away from the whole telling my parents that he is gay. He's been struggling with it a little bit to,
and they were still denying it to a point. They were still saying, "Oh, you're just confused. No, this is just a phase."
Yeah, they were denying it. He was supplying it. It was Yeah. So exactly that. Well, yeah. Not necessarily just that it was a phase, but um, that it was a choice. It's a choice, and this is a good one. That you're just being pressured. That you're just succumbing to social pressures or the pressures from the others around you, i.e., me and Amanda as one
Oh,
of
right.
those social pressures that we're told is this. I'm gonna move it down so you can see me better. What's up? Hey, except for you guys on the podcast who actually can't see us, which that's you can't. You can't see us, and you should. So join us on Sundays instead of checking us out on the podcast. But still check us out on the podcast. I'm not saying don't. Definitely download. Go to iTunes. I forgot to pimp. We're on iTunes. We're on iTunes.
Oh yeah, rate us.
That's fucking awesome, right? Yeah, please go to iTunes, subscribe, and rate us. Rate us, please.
Oh.
With a T, just to be very clear there. I said something else earlier, and I was mauled by like a 75-year-old lady. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
But yeah, rate us and help bump us up in the podcast world on iTunes, so that way we show up much higher than we do now. I don't know what we show up as. We just got on there, so I don't even know if our logo's up there yet. I guess it takes a week or two. But anyways, check us out on iTunes. And if you don't use iTunes, I totally understand. We also have a Podbean, and I think you can find us on Stitcher as well. So we've got a couple different ways to get out there. We're going to get out a little bit more. So that's kind of what's kind of new with me there.
Doing more things.
More things for the podcast. I really enjoy it. It gives me a lot of stress, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy you guys. You David, definitely. I love you. But you viewers, I absolutely love the viewers and the feedback that we get and the conversations that we have with a lot of you. It's why I like doing this, is to have conversations, to validate sometimes, I guess, kind of make sure that I'm on the right track and right means of thinking, and see if I'm not just off the wall, and try to keep in contact with rational people. So I try, you know what I mean?
You do need a lot of validation sometimes.
I need a lot of validation. I do. Well, I'm not denying. So I know. So make sure you remember that as throughout this old school podcast. You need to remember to tell me how great and awesome I am, frequently. No, so no, but beyond that, I mean, I'm dealing with some fun experiences through life. I guess some people deal with all sorts of things, depression and anxiety. That's the new fun thing I'm kind of dealing with, including with my ADD. It's quite or ADHD, excuse me. It's quite entertaining to say the least. So I've been fortunate enough to have a job that actually they really care about their employees, so they've been able to kind of give me some help in terms of let me kind of relieve some stress throughout the week and get back when I'm feeling a little bit better, and I'm feeling fantastic right now.
Good.
But then again, I also have quite a bit of drugs.
Yeah,
so.
which is kind of funny about your whole work thing. I have a feeling that if I were to tell my work tomorrow that I needed to take a week off for mental health, that they would think I was just trying to get out of doing work.
Well, yeah.
Probably call me on bullshit and expect all sorts of things, but
that's true. But I mean, if you tell them, I think there's a difference between telling them, mental health, that I just need some time off for mental health, and telling them I need time off for the reasonings in which I said.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a wee bit of a difference there. I was in not a very good place at all, which was really scary for me. I'm not usually one to not at least be able to try to figure some kind of solution out, or be a little more comfortable of adapting to the future. So I was kind of lost, and it was a little frightening. So.
And well, I mean, it also helps with the people in your situation and with you that you have all these people around you that are willing to be there for you and willing
Definitely.
to help. And it's kind of frustrating and interesting at the same time, because I mean, like, I'm sure that a majority of people will say that they've dealt with depression in different ways, and I've been dealing with depression for a long time also, and it's something that you just kind of have to live with at a point. But
right.
It's interesting how it makes you feel like you're alone, yet you know that there's people around you that are
Totally.
willing to help, but you still feel like they're not willing to help.
Right.
That kind of circular, it's what the depression does to you. It kind
Right.
of, you know that there's people that are around you that love you and care for you, but you just kind of dismiss it and deny it.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, a lot. Yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes too, it's like that comes from when you're kind of like, oh, I really kind of want some attention right now. No one's giving it to me. You know what I mean? Without trying to, obviously like fish for it. I mean, it's pretty obvious when someone's fishing for compliments, and a lot of people just call out like, hey, you're fishing for compliments, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that because I mean, I personally, if someone's fishing for compliments, then give them a compliment. I think like. Not that I'm, I give it. I am completely guilty of doing it all the time because again, it makes me feel good, but it makes other people feel good, and I don't see why not just saying, what's that like? I think you're awesome, rather than you're a fucktwat because you're just fishing for compliments, you ass.
Yeah, and I mean, every situation you can't also just chop off to someone, trying to like fish for attention and things like that. I mean, like it could just be, that they are fishing for attention, but why are they trying to do that?
Right. Exactly.
Although they are, you can't really chop it up as you're just trying to get attention. But
yeah, right. But I mean, yeah, you're right, and maybe that's it. That there are a lot of people who do it just for attention, and that's it's hard to differentiate those that perhaps I don't want to say need it, but those that it would really help, and those that could use that kind of encouragement, versus those who get it all the time who just want more.
Right.
Kind of thing, So
it's hard to differentiate, but yeah, I agree. Sometimes you can totally tell when, it's just a cry out for attention, and it's.
I think there's better. Yeah, I think there's better ways to go about it than just like if it's a tweet, for example. I think there's a better way to go about it than retweeting back on the public forum. You're a dirty cunt. Shut the fuck up, kind of thing. I think maybe. Okay, then at that point you're just a dickhead because you don't, maybe you just don't have the empathy to care about another person. Maybe send them a DM if you're friends. If not, I don't know, send them something that just says, hey, is everything okay, or something like that, or a more personal message. Again, I'd prefer maybe a DM, just like, that sure was, sure was a strange tweet, but, yeah, so I'm not really sure. Sorry, Tony Moody, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us. I love Tony. I absolutely love you. You come watch so many of our shows. It's so awesome. It really makes me feel good, man. Chemical wedding. So sorry, guys. So Tony Moody. Tony asks. He posts a YouTube link and asks if we've seen the movie. The movie that I see here is the Chemical Wedding trailer. Did you just leave?
Yes, I don't know what happened.
Oh man, you know what? That felt bad. You can just leave again. It's fine. What was the last thing you heard? Not that it actually matters that I'm talking to you, because I'd rather talk to this audience that cares a lot more about me than you do.
Sorry about that. You were giving Tony all sorts of love.
Yeah. Well, yes. So said previously. I'll say it one more time. Tony, you fucking rock, man. I love that you come watch us I love that you come. Watch us every.
Oh, come
on. Yeah. David wants you to come on his face. All right, I'm done. Sorry, I'm done. So he asks if we've seen the movie Chemical Wedding. It's a about 2-minute trailer here, and we could watch that trailer. We tried that our first episode, didn't work out at all.
Because you guys can't see what we are watching, and it's
kind of sucks. If you could see what we're watching, that would be cool. Yeah. Exactly. So no, I haven't seen that. I haven't heard of it. So I'm guessing. Just I don't even want to guess at it because I'm just too good at it, and no one would. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, looks like a couple people dropped. Oh, that's strange. Anyways.
That was really weird.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. Maybe we can talk about another podcast. Chemical Wedding, I assume, probably has something to do with maybe like the chemtrails and all that nonsense like that Alex Jones bitches about. I don't know. Again, I haven't watched it, so I'm not really sure if that's the case. But that's a show I kind of want to do too. I kind of want to talk about that because that shit's fucking crazy, and so is Alex Jones. And my ass had a small stint with him because I was, trying to become more skeptical and be open. And sometimes you can be, there's a way too fucking open. And listening to Alex Jones was way the fuck. It wasn't even open. It was just fucking straight up
he
mind explosion. He's
everything to
crazy.
be a conspiracy, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the problem with Alex Jones. He considers every single fucking thing that the government does to be a conspiracy.
I don't follow him much anymore, like just to see some of the nonsense he says. But one of the last things I remember hearing about him, he said something that the Hunger Games was just a way for the government to try to train us to get used to how it's going to be in the future. To where like that's what they want to try to do is separate us into camps with skills, so that way we can't cooperate. And then they have this big government that has all the rich people up here that are just in silly hats and frilly things and.
Well, I mean, to a point.
Maybe not the frilly hats, the silly things. I would be wearing frilly hats and silly.
Well, no. I mean, the premise of the book, yes, to a point, it could be some sort of possible, dystopian future that we have. It with people could say that with the way that government is going and the way that things are going, that yes, it could. It's just needing some sort of major disaster to get it to the point where the government basically calls martial law on the entire country, and that's where it gets into the camps and things like that.
We already have the NDAA, right, signed. That was Obama signed the NDAA, right? I think it was NDAA, I believe is what it was. The one where it allows for the opportunity of martial law much easier, something to that effect. It was a while ago. My memory blows. I just remember hearing something about like the NDAA and it shouldn't get signed, and it got signed. If someone knows more about it, please post something for me, and we can talk a little bit about it.
No idea. I haven't been paying too much attention recently. But for one thing that we have been paying attention, at least I've been sort of paying attention to recently, that has happened locally. Was
good segue.
I know, right? Ha!
Good at that.
Going from not paying attention to slightly paying attention.
Hey.
It probably has gone national, but I'm not too sure. I mean, it probably has, just because it was, the incident that happened last week. I think it was Thursday. There was a shooting that happened at Seattle Pacific University, which is actually a private Christian university, which is kind of funny, in a way. Not funny that people got shot, but no, not
asshole.
Funny that people got shot. I know, but funny that it was a Christian school where people will turn around and say, like with the Sandy Hook shooting, that the reason that happened is because we don't have God in schools, because we don't allow kids to pray in school. We don't allow, quote unquote, kids to pray.
No, them damn atheists be taken away from us.
Right.
We were founded on God.
It just kind of shows the idiocy behind that kind of statement, because I mean, this was at a Christian university. How closer can you get to God being in school than a private Christian university, and yet still shootings happen in these situations? You
could get, I was going to say, if you're on your knees in front of the Pope, that's pretty close to God, right? Isn't
that? I suppose.
Take that how you want. Hey.
Yeah, if you follow the Catholic, that the Pope is close.
And here is the flesh of the Christ. All right.
The body of Christ.
Body of Christ. It's about 6 inches long. All right. Okay.
Anyway.
That's disgusting, David, and also very fucked up that shit happens.
Yes. Very fucked up. It's just kind of one of those little strange quirks. But anyway.
I know. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
The shooter is a suspected shooter is 26-year-old Aaron Ray Ybarra.
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 Isn't that like Ybarra's? Isn't that a pizza place? Or is that Ybarro's?
No idea.
But
he shot and killed a 19-year-old and managed to shoot 2 other people, a woman who was hospitalized and is being held in critical care, and a man who was released with minor injuries on Friday. it's kind of interesting the history behind Mr. Ybarra because
he's crazy as balls.
He has a
and he has a history of it.
Huge history of mental illness going all the way back to 2010, where he was working at a gun range and he was attending the Edmonds Community College. One night one night in October he called up 911 telling dispatchers that he was suicidal and had a rage inside of him.
Drunkenly called.
The police report said described him as wanting to hurt himself and others, and he was hospitalized then, involuntarily hospitalized.
Hospitalized twice.
Yes, yeah, he was hospitalized twice. 2010 and 2011.
Wow.
Both times he was involuntarily submitted into the the mental ward, whatever you want to call it.
Psych ward.
And yeah, the psych ward. And the thing about the involuntary shit, I'm completely losing the word.
Yeah, welcome to my world. Anyways,
is lovely.
They took him in, right?
Yeah, they can basically when you're involuntarily put into a psych ward, they can only hold you if they determine that you are in fact a threat. And because this guy, all of the times that he was involuntarily, because he's called up the cops, and I mean in 2011 he said that he was hearing the voice of Eric Harris, which those of you will remember it was one of the shooters of the Columbine shooting.
Yep.
Said that he was hearing his voice and what Eric was telling him to hurt people and that he should go around and shoot people and shoot himself. And both of the times that he was admitted for these situations, he was, determined not detainable. In 2012, recently in August, he refused voluntary hospitalization again after making threats, and he was referred to the Snohomish County Mental Health Hospital, and was determined non-detainable again. Just all sorts of shit. Like he said shit like he wanted a SWAT team to get him and make him famous just in 2012.
Which is a problem in and of itself with the whole media and all the fucking nonsense. But all right, keep going there.
And just a few more things, but I mean, after the shooting, of course, they go around and they start interviewing people around him. And a childhood friend said that he was a good kid and he did a terrible thing, and it makes me sick. But I never thought he was capable. And his sister even came out to say it's kind of scary when someone is just so normal.
So normal. What? Yeah. How is that? I don't know about you. I'm just trying to think of all the people around me, including everybody in our group, and I don't know of anybody who's gone to to the psych ward or has done the this whole has had that many incidences with suicide and hurting other people, and consider that normal. I don't know one. I don't what. Okay.
I know. I just don't see how even his family could sit here and consider this to be normal behavior.
Yeah, and look, we talked a little bit about this pre-show, and I one of the things that kind of gets me with this is so he at least admits that it was Eric that he claims to have heard telling him to do these things. Mm-hmm. What if? Play the what if game. I get it's what if game, but what if he said it was God? What if he didn't recognize the voice or didn't have this obsession with Eric? And I mean, what if he had that same kind of obsession with God and thought it was God telling him to do the same thing? How do you differentiate? Other than the guy saying, "Oh no, it was Eric telling me." What if he just said there were voices and it was a God?
Because I mean. In 2012, when he went through all of those, making threats and started talking about, talking to Eric and shit, he said that he actually, identified with him, and I mean,
I hear Christians, Muslims, I hear people of faith say the same thing. They identify with their God. Their God is, they try to be like their God. They try to be God-like, and I mean. Is that? I mean, I'm just saying. I hear a similar it's that the same kind of arguments that can be made of I'm obsessed with this person and thing. I feel
Right, but
are so similar to that of
I
what you hear from people of
I
religion.
think that the difference is that people can obviously say that this is a hallucination or that this guy is having, where he is, hearing voices from a dead, murderer, as opposed to people hearing the voices of
From
God.
a dead murderer.
Well, sure. Yeah,
What?
sure. But
Sorry, God murdered
But
and
but
killed a
see, I
lot of
mean, like
people.
the mass majority of people would say that this is obviously a hallucination. Where some people, if they
Why?
heard that someone was talking with God or heard the voice of God, they would think that he's either crazy. But there would be those people who would say, "Oh yeah, man, I totally hear God's voice too."
Right. Well, yeah. I just don't know how. I mean, how do that? How is it obviously a hallucination? I mean, yes. I don't mean how is it obviously it's a hallucination, and I think that's the same thing when people hear God and they hear any of their gods, that it's a hallucination. But like I said, we immediately go to, oh, it's a hallucination and blah blah blah. But I mean, I wonder what would be the kind of coverage and what would be the feeling if it was in claims, if he claimed God told him to do this kind of thing, and I mean, it just, I don't know. I feel like it'd be pretty hypocritical if that kind of thing happened. But this does definitely reflects that's not what this is about. So I'm just curious because the arguments I hear are so similar between, well, God told me to do it, and some other voice told me to do it, and
Yeah.
some, just trying to pass the blame off on something else. But
It, it's really hard to say. I mean, I don't really know at all. I can't even wrap my brain around it either way.
yeah.
So
It's just crazy. So the amazing, and I mean absolutely amazing, host, co-host, whatever their titles are, I'm not really sure, but the amazing Amanda Hayes asks, how did Aaron Ybarra, who was clearly extremely mentally unstable, get his hands on a gun? David, do you know the answer to that question? Do you know how exactly he got his hands on a gun?
well, the article that I was looking at from the Seattle Times, it didn't mention anything about it, but I'm trying to find that right now. I mean, I would assume that it was probably his own gun, considering that he worked at a shooting range.
Yeah,
And I mean, to own a shotgun, you see, this is another thing where I think that when it comes down to gun regulation, that people have it all wrong, because he did this with a shotgun, and it's very surprising that he wasn't able to kill more people, but he was stopped by a campus security guard, I guess, or a building guard or something. Pepper sprayed his ass and knocked him to the ground. But yeah, he had a shotgun. You don't go through the same type of background checks, waiting periods, all of these other regulations that people are trying to push for when it comes down to hunting rifles and shotguns. I could go down to Cabela's and pick myself up a shotgun, no problem. But if I wanted to get a handgun, I would have to jump through all sorts of hoops.
Right.
And yes, we need to not be worrying about what kind of weapons we are regulating. We need to be worrying about the people that are getting these weapons.
Well, no, we also need to be worrying about how we're getting these guns, because you said you have to jump through hoops for handguns. You do if you go to a store. You don't if you go to one of those gun conventions. You just go there and just give them money, and then you just walk away with a fucking gun. There's no registration. There's no background checks. You just walk in and say, "I'll take that AK. I'll take me 2 of those Deagles, and I'm going to take me a Kevlar vest, and we're going A. Follow me. I'm in position." Little Counter-Strike there, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like I've been to one at up at the PL Fair. I did not realize at the time, I was too young or too naive to really recognize what was going on. And as I think back about it now, I remember walking through there, and I had a fucking 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. I just keep going. So I was somewhere down there where I like, I just went to a thing and was just like, just picking up guns. This is cool. Yeah, you want that? It's like, oh, I don't have any guns. Oh, I'll give you a discount, man. Oh, well, this is your first gun. Whoa, you got to have a good, you got to have a good first gun instead of this one. Let's take a look at this one over here, and we could get this. And I mean, they were just like, they didn't ask me any questions, like anything else about how do you feel, and are you suicidal? You feel like killing people, hurting people? Why are you getting this gun? What do you want this for? That was never asked at any of the stands that I went to.
Well, no, that is the gun show loophole that people are talking about, and
yes.
You don't even need to be at a regulated gun show or anywhere to do that, which happened with the gun buyback that happened here in Seattle. There were cars that were lined up, and people were walking the streets, going from car to car, asking, what are you selling? I'll give you this much for it. Look, I have a license to own a gun. I will give you cash money right now for your gun. It's that simple. I mean, there definitely be more regulation on the purchasing of it, but I mean, we really need to look more at the people who are getting these guns.
We definitely do. I mean, I completely agree that we need to, have something more when it comes to those who are mentally unstable, and we need to have some more background checks or something. I just, I mean, the issue for me is that there's even more than just these gun show loopholes. Loopholes, baby. There's also the concept of, let's say Daddy owns a gun and Daddy dies. Well, guess what? Now my dad's guns, all of his guns, which he has, which are like, I think he's got like a 22. Yeah. So when my dad dies or whatever, I will acquire his guns. Well, your dad has a lot more guns, we've talked about.
Oh yeah.
You're just acquiring these guns. You don't have to register them. You don't have to do anything with them. You just get these guns. You can put them away, do whatever you want with them. If in the same token your dad dies and he has a car, what do you have to do with that car? You have to register it if you want to drive it. You have to get it licensed. You have to make sure that it's got tabs. You have to pay attention to where that car goes, and that's fucking crazy. You just get handed down a shit. You could get handed down an arsenal and be like, I don't got to register any of this shit. They have no idea I have this.
I have a feeling that, when I do get my dad's guns, that I'm going to sell off the majority of them.
You should.
There are just far too many guns that he owns that I wouldn't even... The only way that I would use them is if I took them out to a shooting range. Even then, it's like... Right. Am I really going to take 20 rifles with me? Am I really going to have, 10 guns? Right. You
only got 20 rifles, son? I got 20 rifles on one arm. I got fucking 30 on this one. This one's a little bit smaller.
I only need 2 rifles right here.
Right here, baby.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's funny, one of the things about gun rights, like I had a brief conversation on my Facebook about this before it naturally turned into the government and Obama and blah blah. Like, you can never just stay on topic and have a conversation about gun rights when it comes to a lot of these right-wing fucking gun nuts. But we were having a conversation about it, and I posted something of, I can't remember what the meme was, but they immediately kind of jumped down the whole concept of, take away our guns. We want to take away our guns. There's, it's not the gun, it's the people that are a problem. It's not the gun, it's the people. Yes, the people are a problem, and we've addressed that too. But the problem also is we need to have some form of more regulation or just something more with guns, and it's not take it away. We're not. I don't know where people always come up with, well, gun you want a gun regulation? That means you want to take away our guns. No, it just means I want to do something more to try to prevent this shit from happening.
Well, yeah,
not take shit away from you.
The take away our guns is primarily coming from, the NRA is putting that out there, and a lot of conservatives are putting that out there.
Fucking NRA.
I completely agree. Obviously, what we are doing right now is not working. It is not working, yet other countries have, bans on guns and straight up, just some countries are just not even allowed to own handguns. And,
sure.
there is the shooting rate that goes down, but unfortunately, if people want to hurt other people, they're going to find a way to do it. I
Right.
mean, a good
Well,
example was a couple years ago in China, this fucking idiot just stood outside of a fucking school and stabbed people as they walked by. I mean, if people want to hurt others, they're going to find a way to do it, be it a bomb, be it a knife. If they can't get a gun, they're going to do something else.
right. Okay. And so, right. And here, I mean, here's the problems. I mean, I have an issue I have with that is, sure, if someone's going to want to hurt someone, yes, they're going to find a way. That you're absolutely right. But there's still, I mean, the fact that you could just as easily get handed down the handgun that you need from your dead relative or whatever. And I mean, that like I said, I think that's a problem. But oh damn, there's something I wanted to go down with that too. Oh damn you, brain. Yeah,
Jeez, man.
I know, right? It was something interesting, but I don't know. Yeah, it was the NRA. Something with the NRA.
Tony, that is hilarious.
Yeah, go for it. Read it.
Yeah, so Mr. Moody, again, Oklahoma probably has more gun owners and NRA members, only second to Texas, and the least amount of funding for mental illnesses. I'm so sorry you were living there, Tony.
Dude, that's funny.
That's the problem. It's they don't have any kind of funding to keep these people, or they don't have the laws in place to keep these people from, becoming a threat or owning weapons or being around weapons, or even past, like, obviously we need to have some sort of 3-strike rule for mental, like, involuntary admissions into mental facilities, like we have the 3-strike rule, which
right. We need better regulations.
Right. I mean, obviously this guy was mentally troubled in some way, and
yes.
He had mentioned multiple times wanting to hurt himself and hurt other people. Why was he, if not heavily regulated on and heavily like being checked in on and having all of these medications, why was he not put away until it was very much deemed that he could not be a threat to anyone else? And it's just mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Boggles your mind. It is. I don't know. I just don't understand. During the conversation that I had on Facebook, one of the things that the gentleman said, tried to make the argument to was, cars kill people all the time, and you don't see us having, regulations on cars and blah blah blah. It's
bullshit,
right? I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Well, how about, first off, buddy, let's just think about what's new within the past 10 years. How about cell phones? Are we not throwing car laws out there about our cell phones? Is there not the hands-free law? Is there the no texting shit? Do you not get tickets? Is there not seatbelt ticket laws now? Okay, shut the fuck up, first off. That's really what I wanted to just say to that. But two, shut up, David! Two, the most important piece, for just a second, sorry, the most important piece is a car is not a tool designed to kill people. A gun is designed to kill. Oh, no, I could shoot it for fun. You could, but a handgun, for example, is designed to kill. A gun is designed to kill. That's the huge difference. People have accidents with cars, and that ends up killing people and things. People can use cars to kill people. They do charge them down and things. But
run them down.
They do run them down, but the point is that cars are for transportation, and they have a utility usage.
Yeah, their primary purpose is not to inflict.
Is not killing, exactly. Is not harm in some form or fashion, whereas guns are harm. And the fact that if I go to a used car, and again I'm going back to the same thing, I'm sorry, but if I go to a used car or a car sale at the Puyallup Fair, when I go in and get that car and I throw down my fucking 10 grand cash and I buy that car, guess what? I don't leave that fucking place until I've registered my car, until they've got a picture of my fucking license. I'm going to have insurance for this shit. There's a shit ton of steps, a shit ton of regulations that you have to go through to get a fucking car at the same type of thing as a gun show, except that you don't got to do that shit at a fucking gun show. What the hell?
Well, I mean, going back also to the comment how he said, we don't have all sorts of regulations on cars. Yes, we do. Every year they're coming out with newer safety regulations on cars. I mean,
features for safety.
they're actually trying to put together a law that would require all cars to have backup cameras. I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know, that is such a fucking great idea. I mean, sure, it's a little bit lazy. Why don't you just look behind? Well, yeah, sure.
Not everybody's good at judging distance. There's some people who are. Our buddy Brian is fuck. What is that called? Has depth perception. Problems. Whatever the actual word is, but yeah.
Nearsightedness.
Whatever. Near.
No, I
don't think so. Wherever you are.
No, but I mean, the point is that yes, we are constantly putting new regulations on cars, and we are constantly making new security that go on there, new safety that go on cars, and with guns, they just improve the killing capacity of the gun.
Yeah, look how many rounds I can fire in a second.
Yes.
Holy fuck, why the hell would you need to do that, first off? And wow, that's fucking crazy.
Well,
don't get me wrong, that's holy shit, amazing. But
I can completely understand in the method of, more efficient killing machines for war. Sure. I mean, yes, okay, I can understand where you're coming from with that. Okay. Possibly, but when it comes to the general public having access to the same kind of military-grade weapons, I know people are going to say, well, there's not really that much difference, and yes, there's plenty of difference between the type of guns that you can get and what the military has. Still, it's a fucking machine gun, and it would just minus a couple little bells and whistles. It's the same thing that the military is fucking carrying.
Right. Well, and look, here's the thing too. One of the things I always hear is look, again, I don't have an issue with people owning guns. I really don't have a problem. If you want to own a gun,
right,
that's fine.
I own guns. I have no problem with it.
Right. I don't have an issue. But what I've got a problem with is, it just hurts my brain sometimes. I just, man, now I just totally lost my train of thought. Damn it!
You want people to be more have more common sense about those?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want more people to have common sense. I want more regulation because it just, we need to do something about it. Like kind of like we were saying with changing of the regulations of cars and stuff. We also changed roads. We also put in roundabouts, for example, like they put up down the road for me, which is supposed to improve safety, although it doesn't when people don't know how to fucking use a roundabout. But
right.
You know what I mean? But anyways, like, we are doing things to try to help reduce that, the problem of car accidents and stuff like that. And there's more than one issue. There is by no means are we saying that it's guns that are solely the problem. This is the only reason with these shootings. No, there's more to it. As we have said multiple times, mental health comes into it, but gun regulations comes into it too. We should know where some more of these guns are. We should understand what's happening with them, or we should I don't know, perhaps limit some of them. Some of them that are, I would mean, like, why? Why do you have some of those guns other than just to have that gun? That's right. I remember what I was going to say. Here's the thing. People use. All I ever hear is people use the argument of, well, we use guns to protect ourselves. It's to protect ourselves. One, I'm pretty sure, and I really wish I would have looked this up. There's more statistics where there's accidental deaths and shootings than there are the guns being used for protection-based services. And two, I can fuck your life up way more with this keyboard and this monitor, that tower, and a connection to the internet than I can with a fucking gun. I can fuck your life up, your family's life up, your company's life up. Guns and protecting yourself, that's something of 50, 60, 70 years ago when we didn't have this protection when we didn't have more things to be worried about. When all we had was sticks, stones, and guns and bows and arrows and fucking dinosaurs or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see, like, I have a gun, it's going to protect me. Okay, well then, look, I just took all the money out of your bank account. Your house is now in foreclosure, and there's no kiddie porn inside of you on your computer, and the cops are on their way. Guess what I just did? Nothing with a gun, and your life's fucked.
Well, now you're just going down a slippery slope. Now,
I'm going down quite a slippery slope, but I'm just and I'm sorry, I'm just so tired of hearing guns for protection, guns for protection, guns for protection.
But no. I mean, I completely agree. There are statistics out there that show that there's more accidents in homes that have which
and
I
with
mean,
children.
I've said before that if there needs to be just the way that we do these things needs to be better. Like, we need to have people go through mandatory gun training if they own a weapon. And
with that,
an annual gun training that needs to go through. It's like, as a gun owner, I would be more than happy in order to keep my guns to have to go to a training class every 2 or 3 years. I would be more than fucking happy with that, because I would then know that I am able to operate my weapon and still able to operate my weapon, and I know that all of the people in the class with me are able to do that also.
And maybe perhaps some of the updated laws and rules and regulations that come through, just like with our driver's permit, which I have an issue with that a little bit, because we do have to go in and renew it. Okay, that's okay. Whatever. At some point, I think we have to do a retest. I think when you get to a certain age, but I mean, I think that we could probably make that a little bit better by doing a retest a little bit more frequently. But still, the point is that you've got to go in and you've got to register it frequently and make sure people, hey, I've still got this car, I've still got the stuff. Here's my my insurance and things. You don't with the gun. You just once and done. Actually, once somebody has registered it, it can go anywhere at that point, because it can be a gift, it could be a it could be a passed down from heritage. It's blah 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 blah. I wanted to touch on. Sorry, do you have anything more to say to that? Right there. Otherwise,
not really. I mean, we do have a couple of comments and questions.
Yeah, but if we get to Tony's,
we're
this one pissed me off too.
Here
I know we really are, but
yeah.
So Oklahoma passed. Oklahoma just passed an open carry. Yes, you can walk around like you are in Dodge City. So I know, right?
Oklahoma.
Thank you, Oklahoma. Yeah, I saw something else the other day about this, where there was those guys supporting it, where they had their AK strapped behind them and their guns, and they were standing with signs that was just yay, I'm an ignorant bigot. Yeah, I'm fucking my penis is small, so I've got to have giant guns and shit. And
that's
you know what I mean?
Correlation.
You're right. I don't fucking care. And you know what? It's just so stupid. I mean, not
men
only
with large trucks that have a compensation issue.
You know what? It's men with large trucks. men, those who are we gotta have guns and only guns, and you can't take our guns, and no regulations, and guns. Those guys too. Fuck those guys. Man, that pisses me off. I wish you'd have a actual conversation with somebody and actually realize that we're trying to negotiate and trying to figure out what the best solution is, and not just, you're taking away our guns, fuck you with my guns.
Of course
I have never got through a conversation with someone that doesn't either jump back to, well, it's Obama and our government, or you're going to take our guns, and it's just dude, please, fucking, can we continue to talk? There's more issues than take your guns, and that's not at all what anybody's even proposing. We're not proposing take away your guns.
Yeah, and absolutely, calm down. Anyway, Mr. Cordy Mendoza off of the Twitter has a comment where assault weapons should be regulated or banned, but criminals will always get their choice of weapon.
Sure.
And then Natch to her. I don't know, man. Your name is crazy on Twitter. Don't have a crazy name. And he says we gotta start somewheres, which I completely agree.
Yeah, we do.
Gotta start somewhere. But Cordy does make a good point that, I mean, criminals have a way of getting a hold of weapons.
Yes, they do, but you know what? Those accidental kid deaths are not criminals.
Yeah, and the problem is that a lot of these shootings are not people that would be considered or
criminals.
even have access to have that sort of criminal element. Sure, I guess that if I really wanted to get a hold of a handgun and I spent some time to do it, I could probably find someone who would be willing to sell one, an unmarked handgun to me. But these people who want to just start hurting people are, if they're meticulous enough about it, they're probably going to find a way to get a hold of their guns, but the majority of the time these mass shootings are done by people who have easy access to weapons or who
Right.
buy them legally, like this gentleman at the Seattle Pacific University shooting.
He
He
got it
bought
legally.
those weapons legally. Amanda just updated us that he purchased that shotgun legally.
Yeah, and again, he wasn't a criminal when he purchased it. He wasn't a criminal.
He just had
That wasn't his intention. He may have been just like us, just a hey, I like guns, or the case may be. He just then had some fucked up craziness that guess what was not checked before handing him this motherfucking gun. I mean, and again, oh well, blame the shooter. We are blaming the shooter. It's the shooter who goes to jail, not the fucking gun, right?
Right.
I'm pretty sure that we blame the shooter. Let's try to figure out how can we stop this from happening in the future? How can we help prevent this? Again, that doesn't mean let's take away the guns, because take away the guns isn't going to prevent this. We've tried abolishment before. How'd that go? Huh. Okay? Use your fucking brains. Come on. Let's talk about this and have an actual conversation about the issues and what we can do. Ah! Okay, we're moving on. Did you know that...
Is it just me, or do you really want to go shooting now?
No, I don't, actually. I would much rather play with swords. I would much rather have a katana battle, like, fucking straight up ninja backflipping on a trampoline shit. That sounds like a lot more fun. And guess what? We could do it with wooden swords and it wouldn't kill anybody. It would hurt, and it would actually probably just destroy your ego, David, because I would whoop
So
the fuck out of
basically,
you.
you want to go LARPing then?
I am totally see. That's the way you fix it. LARPing. LARPing is awesome. I do want to go LARPing. Speaking of LARPing, did you hear that Lego's making girl scientists?
That has to do with LARPing?
Of course, girls are all into LARPing. Dude, do you know how much pussy I got when I would LARP? Dude, I used to LARP, and then when I was done, I would take off my helm of courage. I would wave my hair in the air, and I mean, just women would charge me. I mean, they would just be like, "Oh yeah, it's you, Lord Jinx, yeah." No, I'm just kidding. Not by any means does that happen. But I do want to talk about, like I said, I do want to talk about this because this is exciting. We only have 8 minutes left too, so we might go over just a little bit. But
because we spent so much time just.
I know on the gun stuff. I'm sorry. It's been a little while. I got into a rough argument, like I said, a couple of days ago, and it pissed me off. And with this anxiety and shit, it just gets fucking push my button, and it really works right now. Really works right now. So
awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so this amazing news that Lego is making girl scientists now. It's about fucking time. I want to say, like, first off, yes, fuck yes, this is so fucking exciting. And two, what the fuck? Honestly, this is 2014. Why the fuck has it taken this long for them to start making this kind of stuff? Honestly.
Yeah, seriously. And I mean, before they were doing they are still having to put these into production, but they're confirmed going to be coming out. Before this, they had the Lego Friends series, which
that wasn't that fucking one where it was the whole like.
Yes.
Oh, that was the one that Amanda posted about and bitched about.
Exactly,
right?
where
God,
they had
so infuriating.
Completely different body style. They were much more slender. They all wore skirts or dresses or shorts.
Yeah.
And they were put into situations where it was like a pet store or
a coffee shop
or a bakery or something like that. And now they're coming out with a female astronomer, a female chemist, and a female paleontologist that even has a freaking dinosaur model that comes with it.
Which is fucking sick. That is something I would buy myself. Like that is awesome. We are going to buy it, by the way. There's no doubt in my mind we are going to buy this. Yes, Tony, Dave, and Steve and the rest of us, all of our emails the same. I think it's either David. I think it's David at Thought Profits. Mine's Steve at Thought Profits. You can also just hit up Prophetcast at thoughtprofits.com. That'll also go to all of us. You can email us too that way.
Now for something completely different. Thank you.
Sorry. Tony mentioned that, and I wanted to mention that to everybody because I keep forgetting to mention that too. That's right, everybody. Our email, prophetcast at thoughtprofits.com. You can email us questions, concerns, give us some feedback about some stuff in the show. Talk to us. If you're a new atheist
or
you're on the
contact us
fence.
if you want to be on the show.
Yes, or contact us if you want to be on the show. You can also get there with schedule or scheduling at thoughtprofits.com too. So sorry, I'm totally detract. My bad, guys. But there's some. I mean, that shit's pretty fucking exciting. That we're finally gonna get some females who are doing something cooler than drinking coffee and walking the dog and that kind of fucking nonsense.
Not to say that owning a hair salon or owning a bakery or owning a pet shop,
right,
or being
whatever else,
an animal doctor, whatever that is called,
veterinarian.
Animal doctor, veterinarian, yes, is not something that someone should strive towards. Like, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing if a woman wants to be.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that you shouldn't have to be lumped into that stereotype, and that shouldn't be, the like, you're a woman. Hey, why don't you own a vet?
Right. Well, and I mean, there's a ton of things here on this. Like I said, I could go into huge rants on this one too. But like, that's the thing is, you look at the male-centric Lego boxes, and it's all action-based, and they're doing badass shit. And then you look at the female ones, and they're planting a flower, they're sitting with 3 friends drinking coffee. The things look boring as shit, and 2. I'm sorry, but they're not. They're also not. Much like this article points out, they're not shown in STEM-based things, the science, technology, engineering, and math. They're not shown in those kind of things, and we need more women in those. Like, we don't have a lot of women in that because that's not the push of where a lot of our toys and shit come from. A lot of the push is, look how sexy I am, look how pretty I am, look how much fun this is to dance like girls with our friends. And again, yes, I don't have an issue with that. If that's what you like, awesome, that's fantastic. I actually love dancing with my friends too, and probably a lot of things that many men would consider girly. I have no issue with that. But what I do have an issue with is the fact that, again, it's 2014, and we are now starting to introduce women into the scientific-based Lego sets. Are you fucking kidding me?
Damn, dude, man, you are on fire tonight.
I am ready to go. I need to work. I haven't worked in a week, and I am really ready to go back to work. I cannot wait to put my hands on some code. But go ahead, sorry.
It's more of this gender role confirmation.
Yes.
Where it's not a problem to want to go off and do those non-sciencey things, but to have that perpetuated onto little girls and to have them only see that in like these cool toys where boys have all these cool things and there's pirates and knights and robots and all sorts of things.
Right.
For girls, I'm going to own a pet shop. That's not something that should be perpetuated onto little girls.
Well, there's girls in the nice ones too. They're just the helpless ones that are stuck in the tower.
They're the princesses, right?
Yeah, they need a man to come save them.
And I mean, it's about time that they are introducing, these science-y Legos, but at the same time, you still don't have any kind of adventure sets that are for girls. You don't have any kind of, medieval kind of...
There might be, but I know I haven't seen it. We walk up and down the Lego aisle because we fucking love Legos. We have so many Legos here, and I haven't seen anything that's been Lego chick-wise. Maybe there's been a couple where it's like, okay, I kind of want to buy that one because that's a sick-looking building or something that they had. But the problem was it was like, sick building, and it was like, look, you can, stand outside and water your plants and, take out the trash. Or I don't know. Yeah, that's a man thing. Sorry, definitely not take out the trash. Sorry.
Right.
Legos wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, regardless, it's about time that they've done it.
Yeah,
And
it is.
what's really sad about all of this, to try and move on from the fact that it's about damn time, but the sad fact about this is that there's still people who are being critical of Lego for doing this because they see the models for the actual female scientists, and they say that they're actually too conservative for women, that
Facepalm, come on. All right,
they're
go ahead.
saying that like the model has its hair pulled up into a bun, and they're saying that's too conservative. But I mean, if you actually ask any female scientist, they'll say that
Think for a second.
when you're working in the lab, you have to be clean, you have to be tidy, you have to have your hair up so that it's not in the way of your doing anything. And I mean, when you're outside of work is when you can let your hair down and do all of that. But it's just kind of silly because they're trying to be skeptical of something that just has not been attempted before, and it's silly to try and point out these little tiny flaws, you could say.
Yeah. Oh, yes. There was one thing that was in the article that I was reading I did want to say, because there was just one suggestion from I guess a doctor. She's a geochemist in Sweden, Dr. Ellen Kuijman, I'm going to say is her name, Kuijman. She writes, and I quote, although recently LEGO has started to design and add more female figures to their sets, they're still a minority, which, end quote. I completely agree. I think we just kind of talked about that. That demonstrates that. But the best part was this next part, where some of her proposals, she had like 12 female figure proposals, including a geologist, not bad, robotics engineer, pretty good, firefighter, I'll take that.
Cool.
Yeah, right. A judge, definitely, and finally, a falconer, a falconer, which for those who don't know what a falconer is, the Google definition is a person who keeps, trains, or hunts with falcons, hawks, or other birds of prey. Now,
yes.
Hell fucking yes. I will buy the shit out of those. If you could get a bunch of women that are falconers, fuck yeah, that army of women are gonna kick the shit out of my ninjas and my knights, because that's gonna be bad fucking ass.
Hell yeah.
Ain't no dragon gonna stand up to that. So, anyways, I just thought, I thought that was kind of funny, because these other suggestions, geologist, robotics, like that, those are great. Like, yes, that would be fantastic. Falconer, what?
Right?
What? Damn it, we're 2 minutes over, David. God, I have so much more shit I want to bitch about, but I am just fired up tonight.
I know. Yeah, you need to calm down.
Go take one of my pills. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So
people are stupid with their guns, and people don't want to listen to reason when it comes to guns. And Lego is fucking awesome for putting out some
fucking awesome. Yeah, exactly.
We should have the execs at Lego take over for regulation on guns.
Okay, we might be getting ahead of ourselves now, because I don't know exactly how they feel about that. So no. Well, let's wrap it up a little bit here. Is there anything that you wanted to hit on, touch on, bring up before we want to bail out?
Oh man, well, always. Somebody needs to donate.
Somebody give me money.
Somebody needs to give me money. I mean, nothing bad is going to happen if I don't get money for the donation.
You're going to hell.
I would like to be able to say that I made the $1,000 that my group is trying to make for St. Jude's Hospital and all of that. I'm actually looking it up right now to see if there's
nothing to do with it.
Change in it. I haven't looked, but yep. Right now we're still at $360.
How much of that is yours? Just curious. What's the
$100.
$100, and who donated $100 to you?
Myself and someone else.
I love you, David.
Kyra gave me $50.
That's right, Kyra gave you some pity money.
Yep, pretty much.
That's awesome. That's
pretty much. But yeah, links in the description. Please help donate. It would be cool if you were able to not give me money, but give the charity money.
Yeah, give the kids money. That's
come
really
on.
where it's going for. So
Help the kids.
it's also on the website, thoughtprophets.com. You can find it in the news section.
But that's really all that I have to pimp out. I know that you got a list of things that we're going to start doing. Pimping.
I do. Pimpins. Yeah, I wanted to throw out. I love the word pimpin'. So, and I've been using it more and more recently, and I wanted to throw out some pimpins, or also known as what it's like shout outs, or there's
Honorable
another.
mentions.
Honorable mention. Sure, that sounds good. There's another word I'm thinking of, but it's somewhere in my brain that'll come in about 30 minutes. The head's gonna come in 30 minutes. Anyways, so one of the ones. Sorry, I can help myself. One of the ones that I definitely wanted to throw a pimpin' out to is motherfucking Mr. Q, Paul from Cranify Me. I absolutely love you, Paul. You've been a huge inspiration. You had a chat with me just the other day to give me some honest feedback, and it was some really good feedback. And it's hard to do sometimes to tell someone that you don't even know, hey, this is shit, and this is shit, and this is shit, and you should do this and do this. So he actually didn't say that it was all shit.
Yeah.
But that's not what he said. But I'm just saying he gave me some fantastic feedback, some great ideas, and he's working with me, David. We're going to be in a segment up here soon, so that's exciting. I'm sorry, Paul, if I was not supposed to spoil that. My bad. And
well, I mean, he did just put out a tweet earlier saying that he was distracted from doing my script with Candace and Jake Farwharton because apparently he got into a bad zone because of some of his stupid Christian friends. And I gotta say, stupid Christian friends of Paul, fucking knock it off.
Yeah, seriously,
right?
Knock that fucking shit off. He's an awesome guy, and he's probably just going to school you on whatever fucking nonsense.
And I want to hurry up and do this because I'm really looking forward to doing this. So, come on.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I just listened to Unveiled too, by the way, which you guys should go to his Patreon and go donate to Paul because that's awesome. Paul's the shit. All right, so I got a few more pimpins and we got to end up. Godless Family, of course, hosted by Aubrey and Amanda, my wife. Her and Aubrey started Godless Family. Godless Family is fucking awesome. It is more geared for kind of the parents and kids. I have my kids watch it. There's not really any swearing or anything, so it's safe in that aspect, in that regard. You can check them out at godlessfamily.com. Oh, sorry, you can check out Paul at cranifyme.com. My bad. And patrons.com/cranifyme. Like I said, Godless Family, same thing, godlessfamily.com, and follow them at Godless Family. Follow Paul at cranifyme. Man! Paul, get out of everybody else's pimpins. Seriously. I wanted to also just pimp out real quick. It's the Imaginary Friend show, Jake Farwarden. He's going to be on with us soon. Or as he said in an email with us, his autocorrect said Jake Fartwarden. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Sorry, Jake. That just cracked me the fuck up. Fart jokes are kind of my thing. I want to pimp out. You can check out imaginaryfriendshow.com. I think is what it is. I believe Imaginary Friend Show. Sorry, Jake. I forgot to grab the URL. But just Google Imaginary Friend Show. Same thing with My Book of Mormon with David Michael. I don't know how much you can trust David though, because he's got 2 first names. So I don't know how you feel about trusting someone with 2 first names, his first name and his last name. And so, but anyways, he does My Book of Mormon, which reads through the Book of Mormon, and it's a fantastic podcast. Absolutely love what he's doing. So definitely go support him. I believe he's got a patron. I think Jake also has a patron. So please give money to them, even if it's $1. Please just go give something. Because that's what matters. And lastly, just for this pimpins, I'm going to try to pimp out more people, and I'm sorry if I missed you, but David, Gamma Atheist Viviano, I absolutely love you to death, so I want to make sure that you get a pimpin'. So guys, go check out Atheist Hangouts. You can follow him on Atheist Hangouts, or you can simply search for, no, you can't simply search for, you simply search for Thought Prophets. You can search for Atheist Hangouts, and he'll definitely come up. Yeah, so everyone donate to Deanna because she's awesome. She also did our logo, by the way. If you guys didn't see that tweet and I haven't mentioned it enough, that logo over there, this one right here, it's fucking awesome. I absolutely love our fucking logo, and it was all thanks to your wife, David. So
down there,
but we're gonna start. Actually, we're gonna be getting shirts, and we're gonna be getting like wristbands and things like that. So if you guys want one, please again hit us up too. I think I might make an email just swag at thoughtprofits.com, so that way you can hit us up and let us know what kind of swag you want. We'll make a bunch of different custom things, sweatshirts, hoodies, stuff like that. Let us know. We'll even put your name on it. And hell, fuck, I'll sign it. I will sign it for you. I'll be happy to sign any of the shirts and shit that you want from us.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how awesome I am. But so those are the kind of the pimpins I definitely wanted to get out. Other than that, check out our website, thoughtprofits.com. Follow us on Twitter and for Twitter by searching for Prophetcast and Thought Profits, and join our Facebook group by simply searching for Thought Profits.
And also, I feel the need to mention that all of our videos, we do this through Hangouts, and yeah, we're up on iTunes, we're up on Stitcher, whatever, but all of our videos appear on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just search for Thought Profits, or just search Prophetcast in YouTube, and it'll come up. Yeah, that's much easier to just search for Prophetcast, and it'll come up. And you can watch all of our entire backlog there.
Yeah. It's rough in the beginning, I'll tell you right now. Our newer stuff is much better because we're, what do they call it? Experienced now. We've got some shit under our belt. We kind of know what we're doing. So our original stuff is fun, and it's kind of neat. You can actually kind of see our progression as things go.
See how Steve has evolved his opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, there's some things I really wanted to talk to you, and we'll get to next time. But like I said, remember, guys, we're here every Sunday at 9:30 Pacific time. Usually, sometimes last week we had a Monday thing. Sometimes we try to bounce around and make sure we can hit up guests and hit their schedule. So we'll be sure to try to let you guys know. But please check us out. Please check out those other shows that I mentioned because they are fucking awesome. Donate to David and Deanna. Donate through the patrons to everybody else. David, thank you again for jumping on. I love the old school thing. This is always fun. This is what
absolutely
that's how we started. So this is a fun thing to come back to. So
it's fun to agree all of the time, but it's even better when we disagree.
Yeah, well, it's hard. It's hard because it's when I'm right all the time. I can't imagine how much you really want to keep trying to talk with me and argue with me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
No,
Hey. So yeah. Anyways, thanks again, David, for joining us, and you. Have a godless night.